What's going on, world? It's your boy Carrie, and you're watching another episode of Poppy's Conversation Corner. Y'all, we are here every week having great conversation. And today we're going to go to another level because we have a phenomenal young lady who's doing some phenomenal work, not only in our city, not just in our state, in the world, y'all. She's making an imprint in the world, and I'm telling y'all, she's phenomenal. I've had many chances to sit under her, and I'm telling you, I'm sitting under her, and I'm just soaking it all in. She's on the screen now, so I know y'all see it. She's staying humble right now with that smile. That's a very but y'all, I have Josalyn Foster, who's I don't even think she has all her credentials. They can't fit on the screen right now.
Oh
but
my God.
Josalyn, you're an LPC?
I am not an LPC.
You're an LSW.
I am not. I'm getting my PhD
See,
in psychology to be a licensed psychologist.
Don't take me out like that. Don't take me out like that. Don't minimize my credentials.
No, it's not that.
I know.
There's a lot of people on our team, and like in fairness, everyone that works at Poppy's for the most part has like some sort of LPC, LSW, like our therapists, like in that way. So I feel like that's a fair assumption.
No, definitely. I just knew it had. I know some credentials is behind this name because first off, I know some of us are born intellectual. Some of us go and we work and we strive hard, at school, staying in the books type situation. I believe you were birthed this way. I didn't know
That's
you.
So sweet.
Yes, this young lady, I'm telling you, like, I feel like, some people go do work. They have to research for answers and stuff. She spews off things like this. She processes. I've learned this. She'll sit there. She's quiet and she's processing. And while she's processing, she's coming up she's like problem solving in her head. So why don't we do it this way? Why don't we try it this way? Why don't we use this? And it's like, how do you know all of this stuff? Where does this come from? But anywho, tell us a little bit about you. I know we've done an interview with you before, but I'll let the people know. We're interviewing you today because you operate in a different position than the last time we interviewed you.
I know.
So tell us what's going on in your world.
Yeah, so the last time we talked, I think it was in September or so. And at the time, I was a case manager for Poppy's and I was working within one of our schools. But since then, with the transition and the new leadership, I am now a part of the leadership team. And I'm the programs manager for Poppy's, which is really exciting.
Yes. So, programs manager. So, literally, case management to program management.
Yeah.
So like on your background, your backtracking, because you have some programs management type experience, like what else do you do? Like, how were you able to not that you can't go from case management to program.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, how did you get from there to there?
I think it's a combination of experiences. Like when I first moved to Cincinnati in 2018, I was working as a research coordinator at Children's. That's the whole reason I ever moved to Cincinnati. So I was already very familiar with running multiple projects at a time. And keeping track of them and problem solving and keeping things in order. So in that way, this job is very similar. But instead of research projects, it's partners and it's schools and it's our team. And I feel like that all comes together just from like different experiences too, like collaborating just like in life. And then with schools, like I'm getting my doctorates in school psychology. So it's cool to like have that lens as a programs manager. I think that because Poppies started off as like a community-based practice and we've grown as like to serve schools too, I think that it's very valuable to have someone like me on our team that kind of has the school experience. And I think that because of that, we're able to like partner and collaborate better with schools because I think that like those teams might not always be the most honest about what's feasible because they want the services and they want our support. And so for me, I'm able to kind of just, have a different lens in order to make sure that everything is equitable on both sides. So yeah, it's just been a combination of experiences that have gotten me here.
Definitely. I love it. I love the fact that you're just so well spoken, and I'm gonna
Thank you.
stop like at any point that you feel harassed, call email the HR department.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to
Yeah.
like pump you up so much because I want the world to know like you're getting this piece of her. This young lady is phenomenal, like well spoken. I mean, intellectual at its best. I'm talking about the creme de la creme. Like I'm telling you, like you have questions, drop them in this comment section. She's gonna come back, and when I tell you she's gonna write a dissertation that's gonna blow your mind, I'm gonna tell you she's gonna help. She's that person. So you told me this in your previous interview. You're originally from like not Massachusetts. You're from not Florida, Florida.
Florida.
Florida. Yeah, Florida. Yeah, thank you. It came back to me. I knew it was. I don't know why I said. I know why I said Massachusetts. Oh,
Yeah, I was just like, that's not even close.
that's not even close. But it's
No.
because my tie to Florida, my tie to
Mm.
Florida, my tie to Florida is from Massachusetts. So
Mm.
I connected the two. I don't know why I did that. Like, okay, anywho, so Florida, like, what's like growing up in Florida though? Like, did you love it? Do you miss it? Like, because I'll go back. I miss it. I was only there 2 years, and I wake up every day crying. But what's it like for you?
So I grew up in South Florida, an hour away from Miami.
Oh,
Growing up, it was very diverse and I loved it. I feel like, yeah, I feel like everything was just very diverse and very integrated. And that is like, for me, a different experience than especially what I see in Cincinnati. So I feel like that is different. Obviously, like the weather and the climate is different. I feel like I really took for granted living by the beach and like all the time I spent there growing up. Now I'm in Ohio scraping snow
yeah.
off the car, and I'm like, why am I
Why, right?
here? Every winter, I'm asking myself, like,
Mm,
you really live in a place that snows? That's really crazy.
yes, like that having to like again, I was only gone 2 years, but to like not experience because of this is my experience growing up. So just not having to experience that was like, oh my God, this could be life.
Yeah.
This could be life. Like this is it. Like, but I honestly though, I don't know. It's something about the Four Seasons too, like being able to experience that as well. Um,
Sure.
yes, it's something. It does
Yeah.
something to the body, but it also does something to the body, the mental as well. You go through those Four Seasons, and it's like winter is very dark. Like it's like let's
Yes.
get through it. Let's get through it. But so like being in Cincinnati now though, because like your light has shined. Your light is shown like all over Cincinnati. You're a part of some organizations outside of Poppy's Therapeutic Corner. Um,
Mhm.
like, but what do you feel your greatest, or what do you want to be? Because I know you have plans for your future. It's a bright future, and I know this
Yeah.
it's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone. But
Yes.
what imprint would you like to leave in Cincinnati after having us experienced you?
Oh, wow.
That I'm
That's
throwing these questions at
such
her, so this is
a
not like
good question. That's such a good question. Okay. I think that I want to leave an impact of like advocacy. I want to make sure that I'm always speaking up for the Black community, especially, and for the services that we need, for the services that children and families need. Um, a lot of my personal and professional work centers Black girls. And so I want to make sure that they're heard and that they're seen, that their stories are shared and amplified. And then just like our overall well being and self care in general. Like, I think that if people interact with me and they want to love themselves a little bit more and take care of themselves a little bit more, then I'm very happy, like with that impact too. So, dang, that was such a good question.
Like the thing about this platform, which we probably should start sending out like a memo that he may throw something at you because I like in the way my head works, like we may have some questions like pre-sent to you, but then because you're saying stuff and I'm thinking like
hmm
heck yeah, so it just works that way. So I definitely apologize
No, it's okay. It's
for hitting
great.
you with that side swing, but yeah, I think that definitely is. So I want to go back because you hit on something. Because at the beginning, I kind of said, you know, you took on this new position, like your role, but like, what type of work do you actually do? Like, outside, okay, you're the program manager, but like, you do some actual work though. Like, what is that work? Because you talked about like, I, you know, my personal, I help young Black girls, and but what is the work that Josalyn do? Like, what is this?
Oh,
Help me
yeah.
understand.
Yeah. So, like, professionally, like my
Hmm.
research,
Hmm.
I'm in
Hmm.
school. And so that feels like a whole job in itself. But like, yeah, my research specifically centers Black girls, their mental health, their wellness, their academic well being, and just creating culturally responsive, safe spaces for them to just be and exist. And then personally, I help plan retreats for women. And it's kind of just like the same thing where it centers Black women and their well being and just creating spaces for community. I really think that community is like such a core value for me. Like, I don't think that we are meant to do life alone. And I think that life is better in community with other people, especially people that can relate to you and have shared experiences with you. And so, yeah, my work centers Black girls and Black women in that way, personally and professionally. I also am a programs specialist for Girls Health Period. It's a nonprofit organization here in Cincinnati, and we focus on providing menstrual education and menstrual hygiene products to girls within schools so that they do not miss school because of their
Oh
menstrual cycle.
wow. Oh wow.
Mhm. Yeah,
Oh.
we also do community events to just kind of destigmatize menstrual
Mm.
education. So, yeah.
Oh wow. That's um I don't know, like I have chills right now. I don't know why, because I'm guessing that that's a work right there in itself. Like I wouldn't have thought that's definitely needed. But you don't like think about providing that type of service. So that's amazing. Like we have to get some resource or some like connect there. That's beneficial, I'm sure. And I want to
Yeah.
go back to because you were talking about like your research, and we don't have to go in depth on that. But while you're doing your research, like, is it like, do you find yourself ever like emotional, like on the findings that you're like coming across, or like, is it like, because I know it's a hard like, I mean, you're researching something that's like, I mean, it's you yourself, but then it's still like,
Yeah. It's like me search for real. Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
research, but like I see myself in the work that I'm doing. And yeah, it does. Sometimes the findings do shock me. And yeah, my relationship with school growing up is not mirrored in the research studies that I'm conducting or the research studies that I'm reading. I feel like my schooling experience was very positive. Growing up, school was a safe space for me. I went to a Black school and it was culturally affirming. And I think that I'm definitely where I am today because I went to really good schools where teachers poured into me, where I had good mentors, where Black women were telling me like what I needed to be doing and like loving on me, but also like keeping me together whenever I would get off track. Like I think that that's important, and that is just not what's happening within schools, especially with Black girls. Like they're overlooked in schools, they're getting policed in schools, they're being seen as fast or grown in school. Like there's just a lot of stigma, a lot of adultification, a lot of just like policing essentially of like Black girlhood. And it's heartbreaking. It really, really is heartbreaking. And aside from that, my research is also grounded within literacy. The kids, we need to get back to the root of reading because the findings are scary. The findings are scary. Like I for my dissertation, I was literally like just reading that kindergartners who are minoritized, so like Black kindergartners, typically are starting school one grade behind. Like they're already entering the school system behind. And it's hard for you to catch up when that happens. Like when that happens, it's really hard. Um, it's really hard to catch up. And so that is really, really concerning. Even for my pre-dissertation, it was a literacy reading intervention. And the results were really good, and the girls did make gains, but not every student is getting specialized instruction and intervention that is like culturally responsive to like improve their outcomes, you know? So like in that way, it's just like I'm trying to make a difference, but like I'm just one person and the results are like
Well,
scary.
well, what I will say is, it takes that one person, and I see you being that light, to actually help make change, because I've been doing some reading lately, and it's all about, we're in that stage in our lives of we're change agents, and we have the
Mhm.
ability to like actually make a difference in this world. And it's scary, it's kind of crazy. I don't want to say scary, but it's crazy, it's mind-boggling or mind-blowing that we are at that point where we have the ability to like make things happen now, like we
Yeah.
can do those things. And I think the good thing is, I actually was about to get emotional, when you were talking about your research, because it's scary. It is scary. It's some of our kids, some of our nephews, our nieces, that's fallen into this, and and it's almost like, how can you turn that around? How can you flip that? Like, I mean, because again, I'm sure when we were in our, grade school age, there was something there, but it wasn't as ineffective as what's going on now. Like, how did we get to this point now? And I know that this isn't the platform for that. We may need to have some different people on here for this conversation. But it's like, that's the scary thing. But the good thing is, I'm gonna flip this back around, that you are the change agent, and like you're doing the work now. So like you're doing
And so
all
was
that research.
Poppies. And so was
Yeah,
Poppies. Like,
and
that's why
puppies.
I'm really glad to be a part of this organization because even just us being in the schools is
Mhm,
already making a difference. Like, when students' mental health are
mhm,
good, that directly correlates with their academic performance, that
mhm.
directly improves their life outcomes. And
Definitely.
so, yeah, you might not be able to make all the changes that you want to make in this one specific area, but we're definitely doing our part.
We're definitely doing our
So,
part. Definitely.
definitely not discouraged about it.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So I know we're gonna wrap up soon. So I'm gonna ask you before we get off. So put your mind on shedding some nuggets of wisdom.
Okay.
So that'll be the final thing. But before we get to the final thing, you're working on this PhD, this, like you're in your doctorate program. But what's the outcome? What are we going to be doing, after? this degree is finalized, finished, settled, and you can finally, whew, I'm sure you're gonna take some time to like decompress. But
Yeah.
when it's time to put that hand back to the plow and get to work again, where do you see yourself? Like,
Ooh, I'm open. Honestly, I'm open. I would love to continue growing within this position with Poppies, because I really do value the partnerships and the community outreach and just kind of being at the center of that.
mm,
But I also miss direct services with students and with their families. And so I imagine myself doing some combination of this, but also directly supporting children and their families.
because with your credentials, and excuse me for almost cutting you off,
Yeah, it's okay.
but because with your credentials though, it'll allow you to offer a specific type of service though, right? Correct? No, like, or
Yeah,
you'll be like,
so I would be a licensed psychologist. And
mm,
so I'm able to do therapy, but also able to do assessments.
okay,
My program is also very behaviorally focused. So I have my credentials. I just need to sit for the test to be a BCBA. So I can operate within the full scope of this doctorate,
okay,
which I plan to do because it took a lot of time and I'm not trying to box myself into it either. So yeah, I'm just being open. I'm open.
definitely, definitely. I love it. I love it. I'm grateful and thankful. Myself, the CEO, Charisma Hazel, the founder, Jennifer Sheard. We're all so grateful for you to be a part of the team, for you to accept the call, to say yes, because you didn't have to say yes. You could have said no and stuck with direct services like you were already doing and been just fine because you were already working on your program. Your doctorate. You already got this going on. You do the girls' health. It's not called girls' health period. Women's
It is
girls
called, yeah, Girls Health
girls' health
Period.
period. Okay,
PT.
I was right. Okay, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you have all these other things going on. Like, so we thank you. But
They all work together though. You know what I mean? Like it's like I feel like sometimes people think like she has this going on, she has this going on, she has this going on, but I feel like it all like works together so it
that's
doesn't
good.
feel, like
Yeah.
misaligned.
Well,
So
because
yeah,
it
I'm
all
grateful.
deals with the same, like,
Yeah, they all like center the same thing, mental health,
mm,
wellness,
yes,
advocacy,
yes.
equity, like
I
that's the
love it.
root of who I am. So yeah, they all overlap.
I definitely love it. I mean, that actually goes to show your character or like your inner like who you are because in some way, even if it was like conscious, unconscious, you had it set up this way
Mhm.
because or maybe it was just the alignment of you know the the earth or whatever the case may be, God aligning everything to work for your well good or for your good because
Mhm.
that doesn't work for everybody. Like I know a lot of people that have this going on, this going on, this going on, and I mean, you could say this may connect with this, and then that may connect with this, but like none of
Yeah.
it all directly correlates with each other. So that's awesome that for you, like that works together. So kudos
Mhm.
for that. But again, I'm grateful that it works together because we get to work together and we're doing some great work here at Poppies, y'all. I'm
We really
telling you,
are.
some great work. We like, and it's not even stressful. Like, I mean, it could be stressful. Like we come across some stressors, but because of the work that we're doing, we're so grateful that we're able to problem solve, work through it. Because we've had some things, even in our little short, it was only almost 2 months. We're only 2 months into our leadership. But at the end of the day, like we're still working through this and we're excited about the work that we get to do. So
Mhm.
y'all, if you're looking for services, if you know someone that may be looking for services, you can always call us 513-570-4068. You're going to call and you're going to hear this voice. This is the voice that you're going to hear. I am the voice of Poppies. That's scary
Yep.
because I hate my voice. Anyway,
Yep.
no, you're going to get this voice, but I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be here. I'm going to walk you through the process. I promise you, I'm here for you. Jocelyn's here for you. Charisma,
Yeah,
our therapists, our case managers. What we're here
absolutely.
to support. Visit our website, y'all, at poppystherapeuticcorner.com. You can view our therapist bios there. I mean, you can learn more about what's going on here at Poppy's, the services we offer, the insurance, whatever the case may be. Go there and find out much more about Poppy's Therapeutic Corner. Follow us on YouTube. Follow our channel on YouTube, y'all. We're excited about all that's going on here. But before we get off, Jocelyn's going to share some nuggets of wisdom from her well that never runs dry.
Oh, wow. In what regard?
Like like if you had to share something with somebody that got you through, like something that a motto, a mantra that you've like followed, like, I mean, I don't want to be as simple as don't give up on yourself. You keep pushing, like that type of thing, but something that we can use. I have a week coming up. This week is going to be a week for me.
Yeah.
It's something you can encourage me with because I need it.
Okay. I would say this is also low-key speaking to myself, that like sometimes the plan that you think that you have and that you're like working towards, it's a plan, but like don't get too rigid in it. You don't want to get stuck and not welcome new opportunities, not welcome like new people. And if something doesn't work out, it's probably because something else better is coming. And so I'm just like, that's a word to y'all, but mainly a word to me this week,
The chills came back again, like only because, and I don't want to go too far, I literally had a phone conversation with a friend this morning, and I'm going to actually ask her to watch this. She needs to hear that. Like, she need to hear that because that's it right there. Sometimes we have the plans, and it doesn't mean that it has to go that way, but we can't be so stuck.
Yeah.
Because it's not the plan. I love that. Anyway. But yes, y'all, this is Poppy's Conversation Corner. We're here weekly with great conversation with great people, y'all, at 6:30 Tuesday evenings. Join us. Share this video, heart this video. Let us know that you're watching. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Bye.